This is Mr. David Law of DI Precision. David, what are we doing today?
Well, today we're going to do a chamber job for Lorenzo. We started talking about this back in October. Originally we were going to do a Rimex for him, but he wanted the extractors on there, we were not quite ready to do that yet, so he's going to try a Vudoo instead. So this morning we'll be chambering that up, kind of going through the process of how we do it, and then we'll go outside and have Derek shoot it and see how it goes, and then ship it off to the customer.
What kind of barrel is he using?
We'll be using a Muller 13 twist, a Vudoo 360, right hand, left port.
Left bolt. Or right hand, left bolt. That's interesting.
Yeah, a right hand with a left port.
So what's the idea behind that? The
idea is that if you never shot bench rest, you don't see the benefits of it. Once you sit down at a bench rest and you realize that you can see everything in the port, then you see how beneficial it is. At some point or another, every PRS shooter will experience this. You will pull the bolt back, expecting the brass to be ejected. When it flips around and drops right back in the chamber, you go forward, now you have a problem. So you're fumbling around, you're on the clock, frustration starts, now you drop the magazine, ejecting a live round. So then when you get it all fixed up, now you're around short or two a lot of times. And this way you see everything happen as you're sitting there behind the gun. Whether you're behind a barricade or however you want to look at it, you see everything happen.
Yeah. And
that's the main benefit of that left port.
it's pretty cool. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what we have today and shooting that barrel.
All right.
So what are we doing here, David?
I'm slugging a barrel to find the optimum spot to cut the end at and where to crown.
Awesome, awesome.
Give me some trigger.
All right, what are we doing now?
All right, now we're going to check for proper headspace and measurements to make sure we are dead on the money. Not close, but actually within a half thou of being to the true headspace that we're looking for.
Awesome.
So basically we made this jig here to hold everything perfectly still. Okay. So we machined these little, call it tools if you will, where we thread in here. Make sure it's a stop, and then we'll come down till there's no movement in the bolt.
So that goes down to the bolt face.
Well, no, the bolt nose. Or okay, yes, the bolt face. So there's two measurements if you're looking down in there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
Yeah. So
the bolt face and then the back of the
where the rim's going to sit there at the very bottom, right?
Okay,
That's what we're measuring. Okay.
I see. I see.
Then I'll always take and verify by coming in. Made another little gadget here that makes it real easy to verify this here because I can't see anymore. So we'll take our 17765 so what'll happen is when we use a 43 go gauge, we'll have a slight drag. A 42.5 will close easily and a 44 will not close. What that allows us to do is to shoot equally well with Lapua and run Ely without any problems at all.
Awesome. Now, can your customers ask, like, if they just want to shoot Lapua or Ely, like, exclusively?
I do get some. If we're going to do Lapua only, we'll leave it there where it's at.
Okay.
I've had customers ask me for a 40 or 41. depending on their lot of Ely. We've seen as thin as 36 thousandths. Most of them are in the 38 range that we've measured. And most of your Lapua is going to fall in the 41.5, 42 range.
Okay, all right. Next step over here.
All right, we've got the barrel in the fixture. We've got it kind of close. So now we're going to take and we're going to deburr the edge here. All right, blow that out. And then we use this range rod with 2 bushings here, front and rear. It's a pretty snug fit that we're going to slide up in here. Okay. All right. Now we're there. Now we're going to take this 10th indicator. Now, if you've been around the machining world, you know what a 10th is. For those of you that don't, the average human hair is 4 thousandths. Split that 4 ways, that's a thousandth. Now take that 1,000th, split it 10 ways, that's a 1/10 of a thousandth. We indicate to under 1/10. Now my machine has about a 1/10 of play in the turret when I turn it. So we're going to be within half a 1/10 generally of run out when we indicate these barrels in and cut them. And that's as close to perfect as we can get. Huh?
This is very fine.
It's a very, very fine amount. Well, if you think about it, like I said, your human hair is not very big. Split that 4 ways. Again, you got thousandths. And now split that 10 ways. We're talking, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, it's a very,
microns.
It's a very finite amount of dimension. But in this game, we have found that it matters. We have great and excellent results at the test centers because of the process. And, you know, it's one thing to build a gun that shoots good every once in a while. It's another when you can build everyone to do the same thing. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here, is that every customer gets a great shooting rifle that they can feel confident, go to the range, and do well, not worry about if their equipment is the problem, but to focus on themselves because the equipment is there.
Because you want it perpendicular, right, whenever you chamber it?
Yeah, that's the whole idea of indicating, so that when we cut our tenon with the threads, everything is gonna made up, you know, perfectly aligned with our center.
Okay.
Now this is what's called the roughing pass.
We're cutting the tenon, right now?
Correct. We're gonna cut the tenon and we'll run it without coolant so you can see how the shape takes place.
Okay.
Now normally that doesn't roll up like that. That'll kind of fall off because we're going a lot faster. So that's our roughing pass, okay? And then we'll stop here and I'll check re-indication and then we'll do our finishing.
Sounds good.
So we're done with our finishing pass. Okay, now we're fixing to do the threading. So I'm gonna turn the water off so you can kind of see how it starts and not get Christopher all covered up. I've made that mistake a few times. You learn real quick. All right, so water's off. We're gonna come over here.
I'm covering my face just in case.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here we go.
So this is threading right now.
This is threading. Okay, you can kind of see there how.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen this in.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, talk about a time saver.
Man.
All right.
Wow.
All right, that fits good. All right. Now, if I've done my part right and the machine's done its part right, we should be at 17395 here. Look at that, 17395 on the money.
Wow.
So,
that's perfect. That's on the money.
Yep, that's on the money. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to refer to our our numbers here, which is 17340. We're 7395. So 1.7395 minus 1.7340. So that means we're 5.5 thousandths long that we're going to have to take off.
Over here.
All right, so we've re-indicated. Now we're fixing to cut the chamber here. Your reamer, spinning the barrel counterclockwise, barrel clockwise. If you're a gun driller, you know what that means and why. But this process here probably takes about 5 minutes because we're going in slow cutting.
So what's the procedure to finding the witness mark and cutting the slots?
Well, generally, I'll go over here and let's see if we can get this thing out of, it's locked right now. There we go. Okay. So come over here, and I usually, when I put my barrels in, I've got a mark here that I try to, in this dot, so that they go in the same way every time. Okay. And since I cut everything the same way, I can bring this up here and put my level here, kind of get it kind of close right there. You can see here. Yeah, can you see that right there on top?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, you kind of get it close there. And then you notice I'm a little off here, but it's for Lorenzo, so it's not a big deal there. We got a little room to work with there. So yeah, probably, yeah, about half a bubble off, but I think we'll be okay. All right.
So we're cutting the slots right now?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, based off the timing mark that I put a while ago with a level, it knows where to turn to cut the slots in the correct place.
Okay.
All right, now we're cutting the slots. And now this is why I tell you to be careful, because if you hit this button while it's going, you're going to get wet. All right, so guys, this takes about 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll...
I'll show you the results afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Here's your witness mark right here.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
And then here are the slots. I mean, right on point, right on the money.
Yep, pretty good for a bubble level.
Yeah, pretty good for a bubble level. Yep. All right, what do we have going on right now?
All right, so we've taken the barrel out of the machine, switched the fixture over to the muzzle end so we can cut the crown. And so what I did in order to retain my hydraulic chuck to do our wind dials and other things, we made this fixture here so that we can utilize the machine for its intended purpose and use it to dial in barrels.
Okay.
So we'll throw this in the thing here real quick and then re-indicate like we did the chamber in, the tenon in, and then we'll cut that and show you what that process looks like.
And this is for the crown?
Yeah, this is for the crown, right.
What are we doing now?
All right, so we've got the barrel indicated in again, and I'm facing off right now. I just did some rough passes, but we're gonna sit here and face off real quick, just to make sure we got a good flat surface to work with. And then I'll show you a neat little trick that I learned at the bench rest match here over the weekend. So basically, it was called the Chicken Foot National Tournament or Championship, where you had the best bench rest guys there. So of course, I'm talking to all the guys because if you don't know, all this started from the bench rest communities, watching what they did and applying it to PRS repeaters. And guys sit there, he showed me this little trick, so we're going to try it for Lorenzo today. So basically, the key is we have a flat surface to work with, but instead of trying to do all these fancy angles and everything, we're going to take a little simple diamond rat tail file right here, and we're just going to break the edge. All right, just like that right there. He said just do it just till it's a little shiny right here. I don't know if it's shiny enough. Here, let me get maybe a little bit more aggressive. You know, if a little bit works, a lot should work better, right? Plus, Lorenzo really wants a good shooting gun. All right, yeah, see that, how that little nice shiny edge right there? You can watch that.
Oh yeah.
Yep, dude, that ought to do it. All right, so what we'll do here, we'll pull it out of the machine, go stick it in a chassis with a trigger, and we'll test shoot it, and we'll let you guys know how it does.
Awesome, awesome.
All right, so my rat pail idea didn't work out so well. I think one of those bench rest guys was just funning with me, so I had to stick it back in there and put a proper crown on it.
All right. You got this nicely polished crown. Can you tell me more about it?
Well, I did that for the video and for Lorenzo, because if he's banging this thing into a barricade, we're going to know it real quick.
Yeah.
But I don't recommend that on a match rifle.
Okay. So you have about 30 yards over here close and then 20 yards of open.
Yeah. So right now we've got a north wind, which is on that side of the building.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've tried to eliminate most of the wind variable by having half our shooting distance, protected. Today, most of the wind is going that way, so the building's doing a little bit of protection. However, as soon as you walk out there, you can tell it's kind of left and right.
Yeah. We had to fix the board over there because it was shaking a little bit. So.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes that happens. So when winds are too bad, we just don't test rifles.
Yeah.
So we'll save them up and we'll do 4 or 5 at one time.
Okay.
And so, sometimes maybe your buddy will get a group that's a little bit tighter than yours. Well, that might have been shot on a good wind day. You know? But
cool, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some testing here.
Awesome. Ely first, 10x, and then now you're shooting super long range. Which?
All right, so you got super long range, or sorry, that's Ely 10X, these two groups. And then these are the two groups with super long range.
Nice, man, those are good.
Yeah, that's a really good 5-shot.
Wow, that's a super long range?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a good shooting barrel.
Yeah, it's gonna be real good, especially when you consider how much wind. You can look at the grass.
Oh yeah,
Right there. You can see the targets even moving around.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
I mean, Chris, the main thing I want everyone to know is groups like that, that's our check in the box. If it doesn't do that, it doesn't leave our shop. So it's not like, we sit there and burn tons of ammo to try to get a group like that. You saw what I did. Those are your
first 4.
Yeah, those are 20 shots, 10 of one, 10 of another. I didn't even season the barrel in between. So if it doesn't meet my standards or David's, it doesn't leave the shop.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's a good shooting barrel.
Yeah, yep.
This one is a video of 10-shot group for Center X. You can see the group start to form 1 full mil to the left of the reticle. This is at 200 yards in very windy conditions. Target's moving. Right there? On that wall?
Yeah, on that whole group there, yeah. So that measures technically 4/10.
Yeah.
It's very wide because of the wind. Yeah. It's 7/10 wide.
Yeah.
But, vertically, in these kind of conditions, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what this faster stuff does.
This is now at 200 yards with Ely 10X. You can see the group start to form 2 full mils high on the reticle. So if you keep your eyes high on the reticle at 2 full mils, that's what the group is.
Tried to secure long range.
That was on the box ahead of that.
The 10X that we shot,
Yeah, that's 3 inches, two and a half.
that's really good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
and a
yeah.
half inches. So here, let's count. So it's 1, and it. Oh, you see the plate moving? That's what we got to deal with in the wind. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of wind today.
yeah.
Lots and lots of wind.
Here, catch that tree behind you.
Yeah.
There was, yeah. You can kind of see it.
Oh yeah, it is moving today.
That's
At least 15 miles an hour.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
I think that should be 10, right?
yeah, that's 10 shots. 2 3/4
Yeah.
vertical.
Okay, that's what the
And,
10 is.
and that's with the same hold, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the Ely biathlon, right? Yep. And then this one here. Oh, let me get out of here.
Which one is
This one,
Center X?
This was Center X,
Okay.
and that is 2 1/4 inches,
Wow.
and that's 10 shots right there. They just wadded them up, and then this here was super long range.
That's with that's 5 shots.
Yeah, this was 5 shots. All I had.
That's not including that one. That's a different one. Right?
Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? It might have dropped that one there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
But
because that's
still
1,
pretty
2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
That's
throw
fine.
it in, that's 4 inches.
Yeah, but without that, it's about.
Without that one there, 1 3/4 inches.
That's pretty good.
And this wind with a plate moving, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take that.